Welcome to the fourth and final segment of K-Popular. If you guys are listening to the show right now and you're worried because you might have missed something or you want to make sure that you don't miss the rest, you can always go and re-listen to it via podcast.
Yes, you can. Just search for TBS EFM K-Popular at your iTunes store, and once you do so, you can definitely check out this show over and over again because wow, it is so good. The music, the talking, the people, we're just having a blast.
And like we told you earlier, in an upcoming issue of our TBS EFM digital magazine, that is downloadable for free on your smartphones and your PC tablets.
Yes.
Winter Play and this segment, this program.
And you can see for yourself how big Ijuwon's eyes are. His eyes are
You can see a lot of things.
So, Winter Play is here joining us in the studio, and we're talking about their new amazing, fabulous album called Two Fabulous Fools by Winter Play. You guys got started quite a while back, and you were originally a four-member band.
Yes.
But this time around, you guys have cut everything out, cut everything down, not because you're on bad terms, because, you know, the other two decided to pursue their careers in different areas.
Yes.
And now you're back with just the two of you.
Plus three.
Well, plus three band.
Oh, okay.
But because you went from four people who all discussed the music, who all talked about every part of it, and had so many ideas and inputs being put into an album, to just the two of you, is that better?
It's relief.
It is
really
better.
I'm
It's
just kidding.
easier. Oh, we believed you.
No. You know, it's a process. You form a band, and the bass player says he wants to go. He's thinking about doing ministry work with his father.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So we're like, yeah, okay, cool.
Go for it.
Do what
do
you
your
got to
thing.
do.
And then, you know, a year and a half later, our guitar player wants to be a rocker.
Oh, there you
And
go.
he's just thinking, you know, before he gets too old and too bald, he wants to be a great blues guitarist, and we're supportive of that.
That's great.
And then you're left with this tall girl and this short guy. But, you know, life goes on.
Right.
We make plans, and we try to do things, and this is what the result is. Of course, when you have four people, there's more opinions. And there's
exactly.
also that comfort of having someone to take, how do you say,
relying
the lead
on
and
them,
rely on them. But this does put definitely more pressure on both of us.
Right.
But I mean, that pressure also makes us work harder.
Yeah.
And I
So-
think that's the result.
That pressure also has brought you guys closer, but did you guys have any fights or arguments working on music, you know, artistic differences?
Yeah, there's always a bit of artistic difference.
누가 더 고집이 세세요? Who is more prideful and
고집은
stubborn?
정말 둘 다 되게 센 것 같아요.
Both of
많이 센 것
you.
같고 특히 이번 앨범 만들면서 아무래도 이제 그 얘기하셨듯이 멤버가 두 명으로 바뀌고 서로 이제 의견을 더 내야 되는 상황이 되다 보니까 훨씬 좀 힘들게 작업을 했던 것 같아요. 많이 얘기도 하고 조금 의견 차이도 많이 있었고.
Well, obviously because there were the member changes and it's only them two left, so there were a lot more things to discuss and a lot more things that they did kind of butt heads with.
More
but-
challenging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more challenging. But it
Because
worked
now
out.
everything is on your shoulders. You
And
can't divide it by four.
It
We
was a
can't.
big
Yeah.
burden.
So then let's talk about a song that's on your album
Yes, really?
that's causing controversy.
Really?
But we love it.
Okay.
It's,
Oh my
it's.
gosh.
I think it's my second favorite song on the album. It's called "Shake It Up and Down."
Shake it up and down.
The reason why I bring this one up is because we're talking about, you know, butting heads and being stubborn. And whose idea was this then?
As far as what?
to put your dog.
Oh. That idea. Well, you know, let me
idea.
just explain to all you folks out there. Shake It Up and Down, Helen and I, we're both pet lovers.
Yes.
And she's got 3 dogs, 4 dogs? 4 dogs?
three
3
dogs.
dogs.
And
3
one
dogs.
cat.
She's
And
got
one
a cat.
cat.
We got our son Simba, which is a miniature schnauzer. And one day I came home and my wife was, you know, not very, she was like, yeah, you know, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And here's my dog. It's like, oh, daddy's here. Oh, daddy's here. He's wagging and stuff. I'm like, man, I got to write a song.
Oh.
And, you know, that sometimes things just happen, you know.
Yes, that's magic.
And then, you know, I think I wrote the song. Then, you know, go back into the studio a couple of days later.
To record it. No,
To
I
record
get
it.
that. I understand that. I get the inspiration. I mean, you can write because you got inspired by a dog. I understand that.
I know you still have another question, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big question. There's a difference between being inspired by an animal and having the animal on the track.
And the funny thing is this: our Simba, our Schnauzer, is
My
Helen
dog used
knows.
to be named Simba.
He's a great singer.
Oh.
You can basically have him sing anywhere.
Wow.
Even at our showcase, which was just, you know, less than a month ago,
Yes.
in front of all the journalists and all the fans.
did his
yeah,
thing.
He sang.
We actually heard that the journalist loved Simba singing the most.
Yes.
As
there,
opposed to
like the
Winter Play.
highlights.
there are some journalists who said that was the highlight. I'm kind of thinking, what are we?
저희보다 보기 좋았나 봐요, 신바가 아무래도.
She says that I think compared to the dog, the dog was better than us.
No.
So this song really is dedicated to all the pets out there. Like I said in the music, and Haewon does a lot of volunteer work
Oh, that's
for
amazing.
For
for
animals
pets and animals,
animals'
and
rights. Right.
we're so happy that we could write a
Yeah.
song dedicated to all the animals out there.
That's a
This
beautiful
song
thing.
is so special because I had a dog from junior high, lived for about 15 years, died 2 years ago. His name was DJ, and one day when I was practicing singing, I was doing my vocal warm ups.
Oh, that one, yeah, I know she does it all. It drives me crazy.
We feel bad to our managers too. They're like, what are they doing?
So I'm at home and I'm practicing, and all of a sudden he was a Maltese.
Ah.
He started singing with me. And he started going, ooh. And I was like, what? And I found out that that's something he could do. And so every time I'd be like, okay, DJ, let's sing. And I would go, ooh, and he would go, ooh. And I would go higher, and he'd go, ooh, and he'd sing with me every
Wonderful.
time.
We
So
have
you guys have to put on your next album.
Oh, man. We could sit here talking about animals all day.
And then also wanted to mention that Haewon, wrote the Korean lyrics to this song. So
That's right.
that passion is in there.
The passion is
The
in
passion.
Oh, we love that passion though.
there. Now, you guys have agreed to sing one more song live for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this next song is actually a remake, or a cover, I should say. The thing about a cover, I was reading how you had mentioned that for jazz artists, doing cover songs is actually a very important thing.
No, I think that was kind of misunderstood or stated.
Okay, then explain this to
Let
us.
me explain myself.
Yes, please.
Let me explain myself.
Gosh, it's
All
nice
right.
to speak
Hello.
English.
Hello.
Hello.
baby.
No, I mean, jazz musicians actually, they play what we call standards, right?
Yes.
All the time. So, you know, a song that was sung by Frank Sinatra could have been sung by Dean Martin, or just on and on to
Right.
singers even now. So basically, jazz musicians always do cover songs.
Yes.
They're always doing cover songs,
That's
really,
right.
practically. So even for Haewon, or for me, we're always doing our version of the melody that was written many, many years ago.
Right.
So it's kind of, how do you say, it's kind of become a tradition for jazz musicians to do cover songs all the time. And once we started in Choco Snowball, our first album,
Yeah.
a lot of people say, hey, that's kind of unique what you guys are doing to the
Yeah.
song. And then it's kind of become, how do you say, a big pride for us.
To do something different
do something
with-
different,
Because you
something
do
cool.
it so well too.
It came out nice,
Yeah.
and people seem to like it, and we don't want to disappoint them anymore.
Right.
Just for selecting the 3 cover songs for our album,
Must
it
have
took
been
us 2
hard.
months.
Well,
yeah, song
so-
choices is always difficult.
Min and I always talk about cover songs because we say if you're not going to do it better or much more different from the original, then don't do it at all.
Don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that to us is very important as well. And when we heard this song, because it's also on your album, of course, it's such a great rendition.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I was singing along.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now they are going to perform it live for you guys. For our listeners who don't really know, though, how old is this song? How far do we go back?
이게 1960년대 곡이고요.
Wow.
Wow, from 1960.
한명숙
네, 한명숙
originally
씨.
sang it.
Why do I know it? 왜 내가 알지?
근데 워낙에 유명한 곡이라서
it's a very
딴
Yeah,
famous
아는
song.
it's like it's a universal Korean song.
이런 곡들이 이제 자꾸 연주가 되면서 그 재즈 스탠다드가 되듯이 이 곡들이 한국의 스탠다드 곡들이 되는 것 같아요. 이런 곡.
I agree with you. She was saying that, songs like this, even though it's from 1960 or in the 60s, they continue to get played and people continuously hear it. And at some point, it just kind of becomes a standard in the industry.
Exactly.
And whether you're 10, 12, 20, okay, maybe not 10 or 12.
You
but
may
if you're,
know it.
If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, starting from that age, you kind of know it. Well, we're going to give it up to Winter Play once again, performing live for us here in the studio. This song is called 노란 샤스 사나이.
Ow! Yeah.